Hey, this is Produce with Pamela for Blue Book Services, and this is my Fruit Logistica experience. So I've spent the last day and a half, it's only day 2 right now, walking the show floor, looking for trends, looking for what's new and exciting. And one thing that it's hard to kind of come across for people is just how big this show is. I've gotten lost at least 3 or 4 times a day. You find one thing, you're like, hey, I know where I am because there's the Pink Lady booth. But the booths are ginormous. There's Fife's behind me and Dole behind that. Dole and Total Produce have like one of the biggest booths you'll ever see. The other thing that I've noticed from the first time I came here in 2013 to now is that it is so much more approachable than it used to be. You do still have to have an appointment to really talk to anyone who is a decision maker at booths. But if you just want some information on what they're doing or a sample or something like that, people are a lot more willing to give it. We're walking between halls. So this complex is like a big fairground is what they call it, but that's just a German word. So that there's sheds. There's different little sheds, and there's like 27 of them or something. And you go between them, and in each one is a different country or different region. And we're entering my favorite one here. If you want to find new products, the Netherlands is where it's at. A lot of the seed companies have their booths here. And the displays, if you can remember what the Netherlands booth looks like at a PMA or a United Fresh, imagine 2 whole trade shows that's nothing but these amazing and crazy displays. If you look back here, look at these bananas. There's like this whole thing of bananas hanging around over here. There's big, beautiful displays of produce, but then there's also awesome things to try. I had some mango ice cream here that is unlike anything I've ever had in the US, and I eat mango natas all the time. When you go over to the seed company booths, you can see the latest and greatest new things coming. I saw black tomatoes. Like we've seen brown tomatoes before. I don't know if they're going to call them black tomatoes, but they were really dark. Let's see if I can find another interesting booth. This might get a little farther away so you can see what's going on here. The other thing about Fruit Logistica that's a little bit different is that this show goes from 9 in the morning until 6 p.m. And normally at an American trade show, they would just like turn the lights down and everyone would be like, go home. It's time to get out of here. Go to dinner, whatever. At this show, the receptions start at 4 and they go to 6. And then people are still hanging out. People don't want to leave. It's like when they crack open the Prosecco over in the Italian booths. And then they're still eating snacks and awesome stuff. Here's something I saw too, is that on these items over there, they're actually engraving bio on them, which means, it looks like bio for those of us from Texas. That means organic. So instead of putting a sticker on it, they're actually using a machine to engrave. So by putting that bio on there, they're actually going to get the ring through from the cashiers who send stuff through really quickly, rather than a sticker, or just, hopefully it'll catch the eye of a cashier who normally goes through those things at warp speed and may not get the ring through on organic versus conventional. I've talked to a couple of folks here from the US who came here specifically to look for new technology, new packaging concepts, because it always seems like the coolest stuff starts here and then filters into the US. What I'm seeing this time around is a whole lot of emphasis on minimizing plastic in packaging, although I just did sit through an entire session talking about the folklore of environmentally friendly packaging, where they're throwing down some numbers about plastic versus fiber and plastic versus bulk produce, because, according to this guy's numbers, bulk produce actually overall has a higher percentage of food waste, like 26% more food. Hello! Hi! You waste 26% more produce in bulk than you do in packaged. So it's, it's a give and take on that. So I'm just giving you a look around what it's like to look at Fruit Logistica. Oh, you gotta see this over here, Bejo seeds. Hold on. Bejo. Maybe they're Bejo. In Spanish, it'd be Bejo. In Texas, it'd be Bejo. But here, I think it's Bejo. They have purple broccoli. Ta-da! Purple broccoli. Isn't that cool? That's why it's so fun to walk around the Holland booths, because of all the seeds and innovation. Look at the size. Look at the size of these. So neat. So stay tuned for more from Produce with Pamela for Blue Book Services.